All right, welcome back, everybody, for another Wednesday watch list. This is my look ahead to this week's new releases for New Comic Book Wednesday, November 22nd, 2023. Just ahead of Thanksgiving, these are the books that I'm looking forward to and keeping an eye on because some of these are selling at a premium already. Some of them are covers that I just like. There's some cool homages, some later prints, some weird stuff, some wild stuff, all that fun stuff. This is my look ahead to this week's new books, and I'm just going to run it down for you real quick here on this Monday evening. Hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing this channel. And if you want to see this week's books, all you got to do is hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I'm going to give you my rundown. All right? All right, let's start this week off with the Buzz books. These are the books I'm hearing a little bit of talk, a little bit of chatter going on about them. So let's run these down first and foremost. Starting off with this series. Now, I think some shops got these last week, but not everybody did. It looks like there were some delays. Even Midtown Comics, they're listing this as new release this week, so maybe their books got delayed. But I know some people had this in hand last week because I've seen plenty of sales on this book already occur as of last Wednesday, the 15th. But some shops may be getting it this week, so make sure you check your shop for this Lipstick Clica. It's another Scout book. This has already been optioned, so this is already selling at a tiny bit of a premium. This is, I believe, the cover A. There is a cover B as well to keep an eye on. But as I said, look, there's already been sales on this book. So some shops had these in hand last week and have already been selling them for anywhere from around $10 to $15 at the most. So again, you're not going to get rich, but it's still a fun little book for you to go to pick up if you can go and grab one off the new release wall. You can even see, again, some of the asking prices, 10, 15, 20 bucks at the high. Again, it's another option Scout title, much like Ranger Stranger and what was that, the Cadillac one. But another series for you to keep an eye on. So just in case your shop didn't get them last week, maybe they get them this week. So now's the time to go and look for it on that new release wall. Also coming out this week, it is a Bad Idea book. I know, love it or hate them, they do great marketing because you're still talking about it whether you like it or you don't. I have one of these Inebrio Horse Feathers books. I got one of those tiny ones sitting over here. I got it from Dinesh at Baltimore. He let me have one hanging out with him that one night. So I got one of these tiny books. I couldn't read it because it's this goddamn big, but I'm going to go check this out because once again, Bad Idea. You may not like the way they release some of their books or some of the gimmicks and things that they do, but I will tell you this, the quality of the material is pretty top notch. They have some great artists working over there. And if you just start looking at some of the books, they kind of catch your eye. So it has me at least curious. So I'm going to go and check this out, this Inebrio Horse Feathers Scamper Juice this week, just to give it a read. So do with that information what you will. But I'm going to move on to our next book, which is a Marvel book and Spider-Man. I'm not going to give you all the covers for this 38. We'll get into a couple of more and maybe a little bit later in the run and some of the other categories. But issue 38 is this lead-in to this gang war storyline they're coming up with. So we're going to have this big street level kind of thing going on. I think She-Hulk's somehow also involved. I don't know. Some mini crossover type event running through Spider-Man is kicking off soon, as this is like a prequel to it. We also get Meet Repo. I guess this is a new villain of some sort. Repossess. I don't know. There. So I guess that's the first appearance you guys all need. I don't know. That all said, this is the cover A. And if you want the virgin version of this awesome cover, you can have it for the low price of a 1 in 100 incentive cover. Granted, this isn't selling all that well yet either, but I thought it was fair to share what this was actually doing. So you can see a pre-sale under ratio at about 87 bucks, but some asking prices are under and some are over at 190. So it is what it is. I don't know. Too many 1 in 100s these days. I've said it over and over again the last few weeks. Too many for my taste. That we don't need this many high ratio books. Let's bring it back. Let's dial it back. Let's keep it in the 1 in 25 range if we can. Maybe kick it up to a 1 in 50, but we don't need these. We don't need all of these. I think it's putting a strain on retailers as well as the regular comic market buyers. Because people want some of these covers, but they just get so expensive. And especially when all you're doing is just giving virgin versions of trade dress art. It's just, I don't know. I'm not a fan. That's all I'm saying. It's not a fan. It's being done and overdone. a little bit too much as of late. That all said, the other book that has a little bit of talk going around it still is Void Rivals, and we are getting issue 6. So we're continuing on this story of this other group that's going to be part of the Energon verse. As we know, G.I. Joe is still coming. They're rolling that out slowly. Where the Duke Mini will be coming soon, and then the Cobra Commander one. Transformers is rolling on, and we still have Void Rivals running here, written by Robert Kirkman. Multiple covers on this one as well. So you got the A, you got the B, you got a 1 in 10. There's also higher ratio incentives at the 1 in 25 and 1 in 50. The ratios aren't doing much or more than that. They're right around ratio. So, if you're interested, feel free to go and buy them. But there isn't a lot of heat on them yet. But who knows what will happen. Me, I'm just fine with the A or B and just reading this story because I'm still interested in what's going on in this Energon verse personally. So I'm looking forward to reading this, and I probably should have just put this on the reading list, but I know there's a lot of extra attention being paid to it lately, because you never know when a new spoiler variant or some sort of reveal is going to happen in one of these issues. That said, let's get into my reading list. So these are the books that will be at the top of my pile come Wednesday that I want to check out and read first, including, Tinian's issue 2 for Dracula. I'm curious. Let's see where we're going with this, right? So we're getting issue 2 here. Multiple covers on this one as well. I'm not going to show you all the covers because, again, they'll end up in other categories. But there is, an A and a B, and then we'll get into the other one a little bit later. Also, I want to check out and continue to check out plot holes. I don't know. I like this kind of weird stuff. When you tell these stories, these characters, it's kind of fun. It's almost like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen in a way, but a little different. I think it's kind of cool. Multiple covers here as well. A, B, C, and a 1 in 10 black and white there in the middle. Once again, nothing selling above ratio, so no price change to report yet. I'm also really enjoying the current Hulk run. Philip Kennedy Johnson is killing it as far as I'm concerned. So I'm like reading these like horror angled kind of theme stories around the Hulk. And here we go. Pretty cool cover here on the cover A. There is also a Mr. Garson cover. A wraparound, I think, is a B, and then another cool Moon Knight cover. A lot of these Moon Knight covers have been really good, if you haven't noticed. I did a short on them a while back. I might need to like re-upload it somewhere to share it again, but a lot of these Knight's End covers for the upcoming death of Moon Knight have been really, really good, actually. And on top of all of this, there is a 1 in 25 by Salvador Larroca, I believe. And surprisingly, as simple as this looks, and simple as this is, this seems to be right on the cusp of maybe going towards a premium. Actual sale prices are around ratio, around 25 up to 35. Some of the asks, as you can see, 30, 37, 60. So they're asking a little bit more. We'll see what happens comes Wednesday, but this is like on the cusp of being a little bit more sought after. Could it be just because it's a little bit later in the run? It's issue 6. A lot of shops have already dialed back their orders, so maybe not as many 1 in 25s will be out there. Who knows? But just keep that in mind when you go to your store this Wednesday. Also looking forward to reading this big Justice League Godzilla versus Kong crossover bit. Just seems fun. I enjoyed the first issue. I was into it. It's got me to the point where I'm considering getting the last streaming service I do not pay for, which is Apple, because I want to check out that Monsterverse show. Thinking about it. Might do it. I'm sure they have some sort of free trial, so maybe when all the episodes are released, I'll do it then. I don't know. We'll see. But issue 2 of this huge crossover event is right here. I say huge, not in the sense that it's just something I didn't expect to ever see or ever be reading. And now we actually have it, and it's kind of fun. So with that, cover A, we also got other covers as well. I'm not going to share all of them because, again, they fit some of the other categories we have. We got some connecting covers, we got some homages, etc. So if you don't see all the covers here, they may show up later. But I'm just picking and choosing some things that I feel worth sharing, like the 1 in 25 and the 1 in 50 at this stage, because they're also pretty cool. Once again, not selling above ratio, so no need to get into the nuts and bolts of the prices right now. Who knows what will happen come Tuesday, since this is a DC book, but for now, right around ratio. Later printings for this week, we do have a few of these, including a second print for that number 1 of this crossover event. So if you didn't get it, here's your chance. I think this is the Bjorn Barons cover there, which is also pretty cool. I don't know. I like it. So if you didn't get issue 1, here's your chance to get it now with issue 2. So you can read them back to back. I think it's worth a read. At least the first issue was. Looking forward to issue 2 personally. Facsimiles. We are getting a facsimile. I think I mentioned this before on the tax show. We were looking ahead to this because this actually heated up the original. But Uncanny 141 classic cover is getting a facsimile reprint. So it'll look just like the original, except it'll have a whopping, modern day cover price on it. And if you also don't think that's enough and you want to spend even more, you can get yourself a shiny version as well, a foil edition for $8.99. So I made my feelings known about these foil editions of these classic covers. It's unnecessary. That's all. It's unnecessary. But if you want to buy it and you want to buy it again, you think it's cool? Absolutely. I mean, I have my original. I shouldn't assume everybody else has this original book too. So I'm not going to fault you if you want to just say, you know what? I can get the regular facsimile. I'm going to pay up a couple bucks more and get a shiny foil. If that's what you want, go ahead. I just personally, they're not going to get me to buy that because I don't personally need it. But with that said, more reprints. They're redoing Last Ronin. I didn't catch on until now, but I guess they've been doing this the whole time. It's a reissue, so it's basically just like a reprint, I think, with some little extra footage, extra edition type stuff. I don't know. But if you didn't get the first run of it, you got another chance at it. I would have assumed this would have been more of like a director's cut situation, much like this next book, which is also, technically a reprint, this Turtle Stranger Things crossover, but this one is actually called Director's Cut. So we'll have some of that extra little bits and tidbits in there. Once again, if you didn't get the originals, and here's your chance to buy back in. Other than that, I don't see much need for these, but they're there. Also, Conan 3 is now getting a third print. Man, there's so many of these. I still have to catch up and read on this. I mean, Joe told me this is a great series to read. I do have them sitting right here next to him. I'm actually tapping them right now. I do have a couple of the later printings there because I couldn't get all first prints of everything, but they just keep churning these out because people keep buying them. So issue 3 gets a third print, and they're getting really cool cover art on these too. They're really making me kind of consider buying all of these later prints just to get these new cover art pieces. But gotta watch the wallet. Gotta take. Let me read it first. And if it's that good, maybe I'll go back and look for some of this stuff. But for now, that option's out there. As is Firefly, the Fall Guys. This is the second print of issue 1 from Boom. It's just a black and white version of cover that was available in the first printing. So it is what it is. I don't like when they do these. It's kind of lame to me, just doing black and whites. But if you missed it, I guess this is your chance to get it. Same deal with Slow Burns, got a second print, also out of Boom. So you can get this one as well if you need to. Mentioned Dracula before. Dracula is also getting a second print. This is a pretty cool cover. I kind of like this one just for the art alone, personally. But this is the second print for issue 1. So if you're into it, there you go. Speaking of issue 1s, we have a sizable pile, I believe, of number 1s this week. We'll see. I don't know. From what I remember putting this together, maybe it's just a lot of covers. But we do have new number 1s coming out this week. And yes, some of these could have made the reading pile for me too, but I had to kind of differentiate here and try to balance things out. So let's get into it. Batman Offworld. Because yes, we need another Bat title because we don't have enough. But it is Jason Aaron, so I'm curious. I will give Jason Aaron a chance. So Batman Offworld is probably going to be in my reading pile, but here's a new number 1. There's cover A. There's also, I think, like a local comic shop Virgin edition there. There's also Lyrics Lee. There's also a David Finch. Multiple covers here, as you can see. Also, local comic shop day is, I think it's this week. So look for a lot of those special edition books at your shops too. That said, incentives, there is a 1 in 25, a 1 in 50, and a black and white 1 in 100 there as well. If you are so inclined to buy those high ratio incentives, all under ratio right now, so don't go breaking your wallet just to get them. If you want them, I mean, that's on you, but just be mindful that there are probably a lot of these. There's store variants, exclusives. There's that one Scotty Young that is actually pretty cool. The Scotty Young first DC cover. I wanted to get it, but man, it was so expensive just from Jump, right from directly from his store, that I just couldn't do it. But that is for this book as well. So I imagine he would also have these high ratio incentives too, because he had like 3,000 of his cover. Anyway, this book is out there. Another kind of interesting book that almost made the reading pile was this, The Holy Roller. If you read it, it's like parts Kingpin, parts Pulp Fiction. It's Andy Samberg, Rick Remender, and just a couple of, I think it's three writers all coming together, and then there's crazy ideas of this, I guess, a vigilante bowler of a sort. I'm curious. So other covers apart from what I'm got for you here. This is cover A. We do have a B and a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50. There are a couple of others, but we'll get to them in the homage section, I believe, because there are a couple of cool homages here. Even these kind of made me feel like the 1 in 25s and 1 in 50 seem familiar, but I couldn't place them right off the outset. So we just rolled with it like this. That said, Distillery, am I saying that right? Yeah, Distillery got another new book coming out. Somna by Becky Cloonan and Tula Lote. Pretty cool. These are those big, oversized kind of books, and they do have incentives and multiple covers. A lot of them are wraparounds. I think all of them actually are. But the images that I have only give you the front for this one. There's also, as I was mentioning, a B, and then I think there is a bagged edition because I think it's not suitable for everyone's eyes. So there could be some not suitable for work material on that cover. If you are into that, you can go and buy it. I'm probably going to get it just to check it out because I do like art and I do like that stuff. So I will be checking that one out too. But on top of that, there is a Jay Lee, pretty awesome Jay Lee here. I think this is the FOC cover. So it was listed after all of the incentive variants, but it is regular price. It's like $10 or something like that. It's pretty close to it because, again, it's oversized, prestige format, big like magazine kind of thing. But pretty awesome Jay Lee cover there. There is a 1 in 10. You can see how that's like a wraparound. 1 in 25 as well. And a 1 in 50. Again, if you're into incentives and for these big books, go ahead, go for it. But like I said, I'm fine trying to get my paper bag edition and maybe the Jay Lee just because I want to get both. I don't know. We'll see. It's still pretty pricey to try to do more than one cover on books like that, but I still might do it. Okay, moving on. Still rolling with new numbers ones. Marvel is giving us a new run of Carnage, which is fine. I, once again, am just bothered by that bar, that banner across the top. I get it. I think that's bothering me even more. And the movie was not bad. It's a shame that it's doing so poorly at the box office that a lot of people just the end of the Marvel comic book universe. No, it's the end of this. I think people are overstating quite a bit. Yes, the movie is not doing well, but hey, sometimes movies don't do well. It just happens. It does happen sometimes. And I don't think this had a lot going for it going into it as far as buzz and positive vibes. So I am not surprised that this one is failing at the box office. But just because a movie fails at the box office doesn't mean the movie itself is a failure or bad. It's not the greatest thing in the world. I'm not going to try to oversell you. I'm just saying, I saw it in the theater. I enjoyed it personally. Yes, there's parts I didn't care for, but I could say that about every movie. Ultimately, I enjoyed it and enjoyed my time in the theater watching this with my son. So, with all that said, I still don't want that damn border running across the top of every Marvel book that comes out this month. It's annoying, but there it is. We do have other covers if you don't want that border across the top. You got other options here. There's also a foil edition. I think that's a Delato foil edition. And then you got Rose Besh giving you yet another option. It doesn't even look like Rose Besh, but that one actually is. And that is also the 1 in 100 cover because there are incentives, which are virgin versions of two of them. So the 1 in 50 and the 1 in 100 are just virgin versions of regular trade dress variants or regular covers. And then the 1 in 25 is new art for that 1 in 25. So that's kind of cool. But again, prices, nothing really jumping out on any of these just yet. So buy them at your leisure, I guess, if you're into that. Like I said, I don't think this is necessary. I think they way overstepped. I think they would have been fine at the 1 in 25 and cutting it. Also coming out this week, Daredevil Black Armor. I don't know why we need this right now, but we're getting it anyway. Miniseries with Daredevil, I guess, in the black armor. Nostalgia factor, maybe. A couple of covers here as well, if you're into that. You got a B, and then, What the Duck cover as well. There is also a foil on this. I don't know if it's all foil or spot foil. Hopefully it's spot foil, that logo version there. And then the 1 in 100, obviously, and then the 1 in 25, which is a Raphael Grassetti cover, which I kind of dig it. I like it. Looking into it further, 1 in 100, I didn't see anything really doing much on the market yet, but the 1 in 25 was curious. So looked it up. Yes, some pre-sales as low as $15, others as high as 40. Asking prices 30, 40, $50. Pretty solid ask for this 1 in 25. So it'll be one to keep an eye on for this week. Because honestly, there's not a lot. There's not a lot this week. I mean, we got potentially the Hulk and we got potentially this Daredevil. And then there's another book coming later on in this show that is worth keeping an eye out for on this Wednesday as far as flippability or price increases already. So keep that in mind. Okay, moving on to our next Marvel #1. We're also getting Secret Wars Battle World. It's a mini series they're doing as sort of a anniversary of Secret Wars, the 40th. I believe they're doing reprints of those all year as well, of the actual first run of Secret Wars facsimiles. So keep an eye out for those. But here is a new series, a new 4-issue limited series starting up this week. Multiple covers here as well. Cover A's, and you got B's and C's and D's, etc. And that's one in the middle. There is a 1 in 25. There is also a higher ratio incentive, but we'll get to that in another segment. Actually, the next segment. So 1 in 25 is kind of cool, but again, nothing really to speak of above ratio as far as sales go. But homages rolling off of that Secret Wars. Yes, they obviously did an homage to the original Secret Wars here. So pretty good, pretty well done. 1 for 1. Everybody's still in the same place. New art, etc. I like it. And obviously, it being Marvel and what they've been doing lately, you get a virgin version for a 1 in 100. Granted, no pre-sales yet on this 1 in 100, but asking prices are looking for as much as 120, 145, 170 for this 1 in 100 incentive variant. We'll see if they get any of those prices, what this might sell for, but like I said, I'm just tired. I'm just tired of these. My wallet can't stretch that far. I don't know about yours, but let me know of how many of these 1 in 100s you've been able to buy in the comments down below, because I can't imagine a lot of us can or should, for that matter. That said, another homage. Pretty cool. I mean, we've seen it so many times. I mean, how many times have we seen an X-Men 1? But with this issue 17 of Immortal X-Men, it is X-Men 60th anniversary. So they are doing like these homages and throwback kind of covers. So here you go. It is a nice reimagination. So it's not like a 1 for 1, plug and play, but you do see the same makeup of Magneto with the 5 X-Men, albeit different X-Men on this series as the original, but you get it. You see what I'm talking about here. Anyway, there is that. If you want, that's a regular variant as well. If you want to, to spend cover price, you can get that for cover price. Going back to Holy Roller, there is a 1 in 10 that had a pretty cool homage. Like when I saw this, I was like, oh man, I haven't seen enough of these. This is one that doesn't get done a lot, and that's Judge Dredd. Not a lot of people do the Judge Dredd homage, and I think it's a pretty cool one. So thought this was kind of fun for the 1 in 10 for Holy Roller. And then I noticed on the 1 in 20, I was like, man, this looks really familiar. It looks like one of those old Norman Rockwell type of deals. And it is. It looks like a Saturday Evening Post. So yeah, 1 in 20 throwback there. And the next one, I do love these video game cover art box homages, but they're getting a little overdone. I don't know if I needed this Halicious one, but it is one of my favorite. I love Castlevania. I love the cover art for Castlevania, but I don't know if we needed this. But it's there for anybody who wants it, which is a good segue into our next segment, which is the one of my favorites to do.
WTF, Gary? WTF. What the fuck does WTF mean? What the fuck? Oh.
So, yes, the WTF section. This is where I see those covers. When I look at them, I go, what were they thinking? What's going on here? No Rob Liefeld this week. No Rob Liefeld hate or any of that. But there is some weird stuff here, including Star Wars, Bounty Hunters. I think this is issue 40. Life Day variant. I don't like any of the Life Day variants, but what is this? Do we need this? Who's buying this? Not me. Also, I know some of you have said that you're buying these, but God bless you. I told you they're going to keep milking it. More of these action figure variants. I just don't think they're necessary. I'd rather have comic book art personally on the cover of my comic books, not pictures of toys. I love toys, but I don't need this on the comic cover. I don't need to spend $4 or $5 for this personally. But if you want them, go for it. Go collect them because you're getting the world's finest issue 21 that has Superman on the cover, and they're also making you shell out some money for Wonder Woman, which, yeah, it's kind of cool. Throw your eye for a second until you see the joints. But yeah, Wonder Woman issue 3. There you go. Lastly, I don't know exactly what this is. From what I gather, this looks like a giveaway book that you would get if you were to take a Warner Brothers studio tour. And they'll give you a free Batman book, or maybe it's at their, their gift shop or something. But for whatever reason, they're deciding to sell this to everybody now. Like, what do I need this for? I don't know. But there you go. If you want the Warner Brothers Studio Tour Special Edition Batman 1, yeah, go for it. It's got an all-new Justice League story inside, I guess. I don't know. That said, let's get on over to Interlocking Covers. I mentioned this before. Yeah, some of the other issues we already talked about have some connecting covers. So let's get into those right now. Starting off with Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. Yeah, we've gotten this already, and these are still pretty cool. I still like these. So this one, we got Batman and you got Kong, and obviously it's going to connect up with Godzilla, right? Yeah, pretty cool. And this is also David Nakayama, by the way. So you got Wonder Woman and Godzilla there, a nice connection. The two, huge battle scene. You got more of the Justice League there mixed in as well. I'm gonna get both of these, I guess. This is how they get you too. I wish they would have spread these out, the connecting, so you get like issue 1, it connects to issue 2. So this way you don't feel like you're double buying just for the sake of the cover, which is what exactly they got me to do. And this is $6, by the way. So that's $6 a pop. It's not cheap. I mean, $12 just to get one new release because I like both covers. That adds up. I don't know. I also mentioned Dracula. Didn't know this at first, but I believe these are the local comic shop day covers. When you look at them individually, you go, oh, that's a pretty cool cover, right? Oh, not bad. And if you see the other cover, it also stands on its own, but they actually do go together. So both of these for issue 2. That's $5 a piece. Again, you might not have noticed it at first, and they could stand on their own, but you put them together, nice little connected cover there as well for local comic shop day. Up next, we're getting one part of this month, but I want to show you this one just because of how my deck is built. It was easier to show you the future edition. So in December, right after Christmas, the second part of this connecting cover is coming, the Saturday morning variants. I think these are fun, but it's going to connect with the issue that's coming out this week, which is this one right here. This is also for Secret Wars Battle World #1, and that's issue 2 will have the connecting part of it in December. So that Secret Wars miniseries I mentioned, here you go, issues 1 and 2. So you can get these covers, they connect, and you get 2 comics out of it. This is my preference when they do it like this. But what are you going to do? There you go. Those are our connecting covers for this week. Up next, I told you I was going to do it, and if DC keeps doing these artist spotlights, I guess I'll keep doing this little segment for them because some of them are pretty good. Last week, we only had 1. We only had that Green Lantern. This week, they're hitting us up for 5 of these Deodato Jr. covers. They're pretty solid, I'll say. Nightwing here up first with issue 108, I believe it is. I like it. I like the rain. It's well done. I dig it. We also getting a solid Superman here with issue 8. I mean, it's good. I don't think enough people give Mike Deodato credit, but he is a very solid artist. Like, I do like his work. Like his use of blacks in the shadow and shading and whatnot. Here we go. Also, Titans. Got a nice little spotlight here. You got the whole crew, the whole team lining up there. And pretty cool Wonder Woman. Kind of harkens back to those Jim Lee Superman and Batmans. Almost like she's standing on a gargoyle of her own, but that's rubble in this case. But still, pretty cool Wonder Woman as well for issue 3. Now, I always blame Marvel for doing way too many covers than they need to do and throwing action figure covers and other unnecessary things at us. But DC's starting to really milk it too. Let's just say, I got nothing against with things like this. All right, I'm going to do the artist spotlight. Fine, that's cool. But when you start double dipping, that's when I start having issues. You don't need to make like dynamite covers. We don't need to have so many covers for each issue. Just give us a and then give us another option and an incentive. That's it. That would be enough for me. And then next month you could do another series or theme. So the artist spotlight, great. Don't hit me up again with these Happy Holidays covers now too. Now these, they look like, I guess, holiday cards. And it looks like there's, I don't know if it's perforation or they're just telling you can cut these off and use these as holiday cards. But we are getting some holiday card variants from DC this month. You know, I guess leading into Christmas. Here are issues this week. Titans. So again, they're getting you for two. If you want to get both of these things, you're getting you twice. Dustin Nguyen, pretty cool. I like how they give you the details too on the back of the cover. It'll wrap around, but you can see in the front, you trim right down there. I don't know if it's perforated or not, because I haven't seen it yet. I'm not a dealer, so I don't get books early. I'll see what this looks like when I get in the shop this week. But you can cut that down right there, fold it in half, and you got yourself a nice little holiday card. Also, apart from Titans, we're getting World's Finest. Pretty cool, you know, holiday theme, Christmassy, get you in the spirit. It's a little too soon for me. Let me get through Thanksgiving first, and then I'll start thinking about Christmas. But yeah, it is what it is. They're coming. They're coming. I don't know if you guys have seen Elf and all those Christmas movies are already on. Just give me the Black Friday. That's all I ask for. But we also are getting a Jim Lee here on Superman #8. Again, all these multiple covers with multiple different variant types. It just gets exhausting trying to keep up with all of them, especially exhausting on the wallet. But with that said, those are the 3 holiday covers for this week. I'll probably cover the rest as those roll out too, because like I said, I like the idea and I like the, it's different. So I'm into checking it out, but you can't buy them all. Just can't do it. Speaking of covers, that's what a lot of these are, and a lot of these shows that I do are based off of covers. We just got to do the covers that I like too. So let's get into it. With the covers, we have I think it's a Gerard Perel Titans issue. So once again, there's 3 Titans books that I like. I like the Diodato, I like this one, and I like the Christmas card. But I can't buy all 3 because then it's like $15 plus. I don't even know what all the prices are on these. I think they're $4.99, but some of them could be $5.99. Too expensive. Can't afford all that. Jim Lee's also giving us a pretty cool Wonder Woman. I'm not giving you all the Wonder Woman covers. I'm just getting the couple that I liked. I like the Jim Lee. Apparently, she's getting a costume redesign. And then there's also a Tedesco that is pretty cool. It's got like a nice little throwback vibe there. Got to dig this. So, like that one too. Catwoman. I think all the covers are pretty good on this this Catwoman issue 59. So you got Nakayama coming through with the cover A. And then we got a couple other cool ones here with the B and the C. I like the kind of a pulpy novel like throwbacks we've been getting. So I have been ordering those because I like them. And then even the incentives aren't bad. There is a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50 design cover. You know, they're all right. Not doing much, right around ratio or less. So if you're interested, you can get those. But these are actually probably the 2 weaker of the covers for me personally. I like I said, I like the throwback. I like the Nakayama for Catwoman, but all are pretty good. All are pretty solid. So I figured I'd just show them all. I mentioned those Moon Knight covers, and this Wolverine one, it's pretty good. I dig it. And you got Bushman back there coming out of the shadows, attacking Moon Knight. I think this is a Gist. This might be an EM Gist. Really good. I really like this one, and it's Wolverine 39. That also has a Tom Whalen cover. That's pretty cool if you like that kind of throwback, kind of vibe too. Like a retro kind of feel. I'm trying to think of an Art Deco kind of thing. But yeah, that's an X-Men 60th anniversary kind of throwback, but that's a pretty cool cover too on that Wolverine 39. So I like both of those. Also like these Avengers Incorporated. So this is the kind of detective agency version led by Wasp. So we got the regular cover A, not too bad there for cover A, and then the 1 in 25 also gives you that noir kind of vibe here. So I dig this as well. And as I mentioned, it's a 1 in 25, but it's selling right around ratio or less. So no real price increase there. So there's not a lot of books that are really heating up on the pre-sale market for this week as of yet. But we'll see what else we got. Got a couple of incentives. Incentives, only a couple. And when I say a couple, I really mean a couple because I only got two. First one being that Bounty Hunters book. This Bounty Hunters 1 in 25. I'm surprised this isn't doing a little bit more, but we'll get into it because this is issue 40. Issue 40 of Bounty Hunters with a 1 in 25. I know this series is ending. It's going to be replaced by a Django Fett something or other, but I don't know. Pretty cool cover here. Copy sold for 15 bucks back in October, and right now asking price is only about $30. And yeah, there's that one at auction. It's starting at $6, but with UK shipping, that's really starting at $25 for a US buyer. So right around ratio. We'll see where it ends up. But I'm just surprised that this isn't a bit more. This seems like one of those Star Wars books that would actually be a little bit more coming out of the gate. But so far, not so much. But we'll see. But this is all I found. I only found the two listed. So there's also not a lot of pre-sales available for this one. But we'll see what happens come Wednesday. I also kind of like this Wolverine. I like the changing between the claws. Get like the different levels, different stages there. So 1 in 25 there on it. This is Immortal X-Men. This isn't even on that Wolverine book. This is the incentive for Immortal X-Men 17. That throwback X-Men 1 homage I showed you earlier. But you can see here, selling for right around ratio, a little bit more at like $29. Asking prices around 30 to 50. We'll see if this one does anything more. But like that Hulk book, this one's like on the border. It's on the cusp of maybe going at a premium, but maybe not. We'll see. We'll see. So it's something to keep an eye on. And with that, I think I got one more section for you guys. And I know it's a lot of your favorites, and it's one of my favorites to do. And those are the Cheesecake covers. Yeah, I like these. That said, we have a lot of Grimm Fairy Tales books this week. Granted, every week that Grimm Fairy Tales has covers, we could put their entire lineup probably in this section. But I'm not going to do all of them, but a lot of them are pretty solid. Starting off with Grimm Fairy Tales 2023 Armed Forces Appreciation One Shot. Pretty fun. Got the flag, Marine Corps. And then we got a couple others here. Not bad. I like all of these, especially the one in the middle. I think is that no Noe. I don't know how to pronounce the artist's name, but I dig it. It's got like a Villa Lobos kind of vibe. Also getting this one, Grimm Fairy Tales presents Van Helsing the Syndicate #1. So yeah, we got a pretty solid. I guess it's a cover A. I don't know how they list these. There's like usually 4 covers, and I don't know which one's which most of the time. But I think that was A, and this is one of the others. The other two didn't really fit the vibe too much of the Cheesecake cover. They're a little more on the horror end of things, so I left those off. But these two, you can see why they're here in this section, right? Moving on, we got another Grimm Fairy Tale book, Wonderland, Child of Madness. I think this is that same artist, Noe or whatever. I dig it. There's also another version of this. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a foil or virgin version or what, but there is another, and I think it might be an incentive of this particular cover. I kind of dig it. But on top of that, there's also this Ivan Tao cover. Also pretty cool. Like with the flames and the color choices. I dig it. We're also getting issue 2, right? I think it's issue 2 of the Hack Slash Back to School special. So, we got the cheerleader there, knife, rainbows, pretty cool. And then we also have this issue here too with almost a little bit of a, with the skirt action there, hiding behind the counter, big, killer bunny-ish type deal. I don't know, but still, pretty cool cover. I like both of these. Same with Darkling. So Archie is also giving us these covers of Darkling. We got a cover A, I guess, and then David Mack is giving us a pretty solid cover B. Surprised. Don't see too many of these on Archie books. Yeah. Captain Marvel. Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, just go watch the movie. This one's not bad. I forget who did this one. Was it Kunkka? Might be a Kunkka or Kendrick Lim or I don't know. I'm sorry, it's getting late and I'm just kind of losing my train of thought. But we have this one, and we also have the Swaby, which also caught my eye for this week. So Josh Sway, pretty cool cover here on Captain Marvel issue 2. And then She-Hulk gives us another couple of covers. One of these is, I think, just like a regular. It's not cover A. Cover A has like Scar on it. But these are like B's and C's. And there's a 1 in 25 as well. So you got the one that's like the window thing, but of course it's She-Hulk, so they got to do like a little fun, little fourth wall breaking kind of thing going on. And then the 1 in 25 is pretty good. I like it. Looking at the 1 in 25, this is another one that could be on the cusp. So that's why I had to look into it a little bit further. Issue, what is this? Issue 2 She-Hulk? Yeah, issue 2, 1 in 25. Selling for right around ratio. Those are the recent sales. But then the asking prices are looking for, again, right around ratio up to 45 bucks. Not a lot available either. So we'll see where this one ends up, like just like the other books. On the cusp of maybe doing something this week, but not sure. But finally, I think our last book is going to be the one that will do something, and that is Harley Quinn, Black, White, and Redder. This is the monstrous cover. Pretty awesome there. I know this one in itself doesn't really read Cheesecake, but is an awesome cover. But the other ones do more. Like we have the right there, bang, and then the 1 in 25 is, again, sorry to jump to the end here, but the 1 in 25 Nakayama really is the one that seems to be the one for this week as far as pre-sales go. So the lead-in prices, this Nakayama 1 in 25, as we're about to get into it, but all these covers are pretty good. But the 1 in 25 seems to be the winner for this week as far as one to keep an eye on, one to keep a lookout for, because looking at these pre-sales, it's gone from $55 to $60 to $80, and these are over the last couple of days. These are very recent pre-sales. These aren't early, like, hey, October sales. This is happening this week. Like, this price increase is happening this week, which is causing the asking prices that we're seeing here as well. $60, $62, $160. I know that's really fishing, but we've seen stranger things happen. I mean, we'll see what happens. This is a 1 in 25, so already going above double ratio is interesting. It's interesting. So we'll see how it plays out once this hits shelves on Tuesday. Since it's a DC book, we'll know more about this one on Tuesday. But still, this is the Wednesday watch list. Looking forward to the new books coming out this Wednesday. That's all I got for you this week. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you found that helpful. Hopefully I showed you some books that you might be interested in picking up for yourselves this week. Again, share some stuff, though, what you grab at the store this week. Tag me on Instagram. Put it down in the comments below. And keep telling your friends so we can keep growing this channel. Thank you for all the support. And I will see you all soon with some more content, though I might be taking a quick little break for a vacation coming up soon. So don't worry. After a little bit of a pause, I'll be back with all the stuff you know and love here on Rennavision. All right, later.